Hello, my inspirations, and welcome to Inspirational by Marie. If you're here for the first time, I welcome you with love. We are a family here, so please get involved. Today we have an interesting topic. We're going to be discussing the 5 love languages by Gary Chapman. But before we get into that, please be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Alright, let's get into it. So a couple weeks back, I did a live stream on the 5 love languages, and we all discussed and shared our love languages. So for those who don't know, the love language is a concept that was made by a man called Gary Chapman. He is a senior pastor, an author, a radio presenter. So the 5 love languages are, I've got my iPad here, so please excuse me if I'm looking down. So number 1 is words of affirmation, 2 quality time, 3 acts of service, 4 gifts, 5 physical touch. So these are the 5 love languages, and basically as individuals we're supposed to choose 2 love languages that are our main love languages that we most relate to. So the concept of this whole love language was that with your partner you're supposed to understand or at least know their love language, so you know the best way to relate to them, and vice versa. So that's the whole point of the love language, situation. Now, when we had our live, it was so funny because when I was asking people, like, what's your love language? People were saying, like, other things, like, attention is my love language. And they would say, like, and I'm like, that's not a part of the love language. But I think that would slip into quality time. So there are 5 specific love languages, right? Now, what I'm going to do, side note, is when I do my lives, for the people that can't watch the lives back because they are quite long, I'm going to be also making uploads of the topics that I'm doing so that you don't miss out on, obviously, the fun that we're having, because this is just a bit of fun, right? Especially when it comes to this love language situation. So, yeah, okay, let's get into it. So I've said the 5. So I'm going to read the descriptions as well of what they mean. Now, comment down below what 2 most represent you. I'll say it again. Words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service, gifts, and physical touch. Okay, so words of affirmation are for those people that love words. So words of affirmation, a love language. So verbal acknowledgement, affection, including frequent I love yous, compliments, word of appreciation, verbal encouragement, and often frequent digital communication like texting, social media engagement. So this is all to do with the people that love words. I'm a word person, yeah? So this is one of my love languages. This is all to do with, like I said, the verbal communication. If you, for example, maybe, I don't know, change your hairstyle, you would want your partner to notice it but say something verbally to you to express, that they've noticed this change. So you would appreciate that. Now, I want to also point out that love languages are not just to do with partner relationships or romantic relationships, but they can also be used in family relationships, parent relationships, things like that. So it's not just romantic relationships. However, this is a way that some people use, like in counseling sessions as well. They do tend to ask or refer to the 5 love languages, and they say, do you know your partner's love languages? Okay, so that was words of affirmation. Then there's quality time. So this is for the people whose love language is quality time. They feel most adored when their partner actively wants to spend time with them and is always down to hang out, okay? They particularly love when active listening, eye contact, and full presence are prioritized, hallmarks in their relationship. So this is for people that like to spend time with people, okay? So presently as well, like being together in the same room, eye to eye contact, just having your attention there at the time. This is a way that you would mostly feel loved, okay? So that's the first two love languages. I'm going to move on. So the third love language is acts of service. So acts of service is when you value when your partner goes out of their way for you. So for example, let's say you didn't feel very well and they brought you soup in bed, or in the morning before work they made you coffee. Acts of service is a lot to do with actions. So if you said, oh, the cupboard is broken or the light bulb needs changing, they change it or they fix it for you. So this is their way of showing their love to you. Acts of service are for people that mainly feel like it's not just words but actions. So they're all to do with you not just saying it but actually doing something about it. So that's acts of service. So love language number 4 is gifts. So gifts is a pretty straightforward love language. However, receiving gifts for a person whose love language is gifts is all to do with the thought behind the person that bought them the gift. It's meaningful to this person. So it's not just the thought, but it's even the choosing process. It's being able for them to go in a shop, see something that you like, and say, oh, so-and-so would like this, or my partner would like this, or, my child would like that. So it's all about the thought process behind it. It means a lot to that person. And I can understand it because I feel like when people say that gifts is their love language, they laugh about it because it sounds like, oh, you just want to take the gift, take the gift, take the gift. But no, there's actually a meaningful, thoughtful process behind gifts, okay? So let's say, for example, you're somebody that likes flowers and you like roses specifically, okay? And your partner goes into the flower shop and chooses out roses for you and brings it to you. It would mean a lot to you because it just shows that they're paying attention to what you like, the type of flower you like, and they actually bought it for you. So it means a lot. So it's not just the gift, but it's a thought process that comes behind the gift. Love language number 5 is physical touch. So people with physical touch as their love language feel loved when they receive physical signs of affection, including kissing, holding hands, cuddling on the couch. Physical intimacy and touch can be incredibly affirming and serve as a powerful emotional connector for people with this love language. Now, some people would say that when they were younger, they felt loved when their mother or their father or their auntie or whoever or their carer hugged them. So in their adult years, they identify this as, feeling loved. So they also love their partner to love them in this way, which is obviously physical touch. I've noticed that with the love languages, as you get older, your love language could change, all right? So you could be somebody whose love language is, or was, should I say, physical touch and words of affirmation. But as years have gone past, your love language could be receiving gifts and acts of service. So you see that it can change over time. And remember that for different people, depending on your upbringing, your background, culture, religion, some love languages may not be suitable for you, okay? Someone may say that, for example, words of affirmation, we don't deliberately like to tell you to your face how they feel about you, but instead they want to go through a third person to say what they think about you. So in some cultures, maybe, I don't know, physical touch is not polite, so it just depends. So you cannot really use this as like a end all or be all, but you can definitely have some fun with it and also use it as a guide to definitely get to know what or how you relate to and respond to love, I think it is fun. I mean, like if you have a partner, you're getting to know them. It's a fun question to say to them, like, what's your love language? Just to have an understanding, you know. You may think someone's love language is words of affirmation, but really it's receiving gifts. Do you understand? So asking them these questions and understanding it can make our relationships more prosperous. You know, I know that they do speak about this in like marriage counseling sessions. This is, I believe, how this came about anyway, because Gary Chapman was a marriage counselor as well. However, this book was written over 30 years ago, so definitely things can change, okay? So yeah, this was just a bit of fun. I thought I'd bring it to you. Like I said, I'm going to be picking up some just topics from the live that I do, so that everybody has a chance to chime in and see if you can't watch the whole live back. So that's what it was, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this session. Yeah, and I did share that one of my love languages are words of affirmation, and the other one is acts of service. Okay, before someone says you didn't tell me what your love language is. But now I want to ask you, what are your 2 love languages? Comment down below, guys. Thank you ever so much. Until next time, be inspired, be encouraged, be blessed. Mwah. Take care, guys.